Hello everyone, it's Joe, and today I'm going to be looking at the OmniPoke coaching program, something that's starting at the beginning of 2019. And let's jump straight into it with a little bit of background on me. I am going to be your coach if you do choose to go along with this program. A few achievements from me here. I've started the game in 2014. For the first couple of years, I only went to a handful of tournaments. Then I was able to drive, and I went to a lot more from 2016 onwards. I've attended the World Championships 3 times, and I've already qualified for this year's Worlds. I finished in the top 30 of Europe for the last 2 years, and I'm still up there right now. And that's whilst also juggling commentary at the same time. From 2016, I started commentating. I was able to do 3 national championships. I've also been part of 3 international championships in the last couple of years, as well as a few regionals and a special event as well. So I think staying at the top of your game, despite not being able to attend some of the biggest tournaments of the year, is a real big achievement. And I think also commentary in its own right is an achievement and is something great as a coach, is because I've been able to look at the top players of the game and discuss their decision making to a broad audience. And that's a big part about coaching, helping people understand why certain processes are happening, why the best players are making certain plays, and discussing it from people from all ages and all levels of play. Obviously, when you're commentating, you have to analyze different perspectives and parts of the game, and you're having to do that to the broadest spectrum around, from the very high tier players who will be watching back the VOD reviews, and there'll be some people who are just getting into Pokemon or don't even know what it is, and you need to be able to discuss these sorts of things to them as well so that they can understand. And I think that's a big deal when you're a coach. You have to be able to cater to all sorts of different players as well. So I think that's a real big point there, and a big reason why I believe I could be a very good coach for you. So what is coaching? It's simply the process that aims to improve performance. That is literally the definition in a dictionary of what coaching is. What does that mean for Pokemon? Well, the forms of coaching, the processes that I'm going to be trying to put to work to help you improve your performance is the following. Pokemon for Dummies is literally going to be, if you're just beginning the Pokemon trading card game, it's going to be everything from teaching you the rules itself, showing you the best places to look on the internet to find information, and giving you, real basic steps into how you can start learning the game in more detail. The fundamentals of Pokemon, that's going to be something that you teach, again, beginners, of course, but also more experienced players. Sometimes you need to teach them sorts of sequencing, some statistics behind certain cards. These are some fundamentals that you need to learn. Doing even forms of shuffling that you can improve on, time management skills, prize checking skills, lots of fundamentals to Pokemon that can be improved on for a lot of players. Metagame analysis, matchup analysis, deck list optimization. These are things that are constantly being ironed out from players at the very top of the game, and this is always an activity that is very useful, especially with upcoming specific tournaments. Trying to do some metagame analysis for that is going to be an ongoing task that we can do. Deck list optimization, again, going back to statistics behind things, looking at previous successful deck lists and seeing how they shape up and why certain cards have led lists to success over others. Stuff like that is going to be important. Matchup analysis, really going to be more a lot of theoremon for to begin with, to see what your good and bad matchups are if you're planning to take one specific deck to a tournament, and then going into games, playtesting those, seeing if any tech cards can improve matchups to a significant degree, for example. Then we have making most out of playtesting. That's me sort of trying to help you guys, even when you're not during the coaching, when you're just chilling out on PTGO, how you can get more out of that playtesting experience rather than just sitting there eating a packet of crisps and just sort of having TV on in the background whilst you're just sort of playing cards willy-nilly. How you can really structure that to be much more beneficial time used for your playtesting. And cube creation and customization is the last one, just sort of an outlier there for you, just because I personally love being involved in cube drafts. It's a fun format. It's a completely different part of coaching altogether, where really I'm just sort of helping people get their last few decisions made for a cube to get the most out of that as well. So that's just an individual thing on the side there also. Onto the coaching activities. What are the sort of day-to-day things you'll be doing if you are involved in coaching? Essentially, it's up to the client as to what they want to do. Also kind of up to me, sort of based on where they are in the game, how good they are, how competent they are on their own without needing the sort of the safety net of me to explain, step by step. Obviously, that's going to be part of my role, but there's all sorts of different ways that we can try and go about trying to do the coaching. A combination of these things oftentimes will be taking place maybe earlier on. I'll be sort of watching over and shadowing you, starting to gauge how proficient you are in the game, where you need to improve, stuff like that. And once that has been established, I can then start going into these other activities with you to get the most out of your coaching. So again, the process is going to be bespoke and tailored to you. So it's down to me to first see where you're at as a player, where I think you can improve and where I can help you improve the most for the best results. And it's going to be a combination of these things that we'll be doing together alongside theory crafting, metagaming, looking at recent results, all that sort of thing. These are sort of things we'll be looking at as a coach and client. As I mentioned, a bespoke service is really something that I'm passionate about. I think it's a very important thing for coaching. It's not a one-size-fits-all process at all. I think one great thing about me personally, now that I'm going to full-time coaching and content creating, my mind's always going to be on Pokemon, but my calendar is always going to be free and it's going to fit around you guys. Obviously, the great thing about content creation, I can do it at home, sat here, day or night, so I can then have my calendar free for coaching, for whatever does fit around you. Obviously, there's a lot of time zones around as well. I am trying to be as much of a global brand as possible, so I will be trying to cast my net out for all sorts of time zones. That's not going to be a problem. Definitely do approach me, even if you think you're from the edge of the earth. I will try and fit you around, and we'll try and get something to work out together. Sessions are all going to be based around what you want to achieve as a player. Maybe you're coming to me just for one specific tournament. That's absolutely fine. I can help you iron out a list just for that one event. If you're trying to improve your game on a more broad scope, we'll be coming to you, weekly with different things that we're going to try and improve on in your game in general, whilst also looking at specific cases to improve. And also what you like and what you don't like doing. I'm not going to sit here and make you do something that you don't want to do. I'm not just going to tell you to play, this is the best deck right now, play this 60 cards, go, enjoy your 60 points or whatever. I'm really going to be, based on what you want, trying to improve you as a player as well in general, so that maybe one day you don't need coaching from me and you can just be a competent player in your own right. There's also the option to have one-off sessions. I'm absolutely fine with that. I'm going to be going over the price structure in a moment for you. And also homework activities. I think it is important that, just doing one coaching session a week won't drastically change your performance, although I believe it can help. But I think if I give you tasks and you're willing to cooperate and improve your own play testing, I do think it will be very valuable to you. So I think these are things that are also going to be set for you to improve your gameplay overall. Here is a quick notation on the price structure. Payments are just going to be within 30 days of the last session that you had in that calendar month. And you can see a standard session is just going to be an hour session for £18. Everything is done in pounds, but you can quite easily just go onto a currency converter if you want to. And these more standard sessions, these will be where I literally sit down and we're going to be going week by week trying to improve your gameplay and looking at all sorts of different aspects. You can book these as often as you want. The Pokemon for Dummies and the Cube sessions, these are a lot cheaper. I expect these to be one or two of sessions where I'm, setting you up and putting you, sort of getting you going with what you need, and simply you don't need to come back again. Or if you feel like having one or two sessions, that's fine, but I feel like that's going to be more sort of one-off sessions to put you in the right direction so you can do your own thing and maybe come back at a different date. The monthly coaching package is really something that I think is one of the best options for you here. You get to save a couple pounds by going to 10 hours within 1 month. So that could be, a couple big 4-hour sessions on certain days if you have a free day. Or you can go for, 2 hours here and there each week. You could do 1 hour, 2 days a week, for example. So I think that's a really important thing. It means I get to have regular contact with you and we can get a lot more done in that time, which is, much better to see a progression in how you go when we get into contact a lot more often as well, which is fantastic. And also there's one that I do think will be appealing to people, and that's a pre-tournament crash course where you'll come to me most likely in a panic with 2 or 3 weeks to go before an event, and we'll look over the list that you're thinking about playing, try and iron that out, talk about his matchups together, discuss the metagame, discuss what sort of tech cards could be best for you, and maybe having 1 or 2 matchups ironed out for you with some gameplay if you haven't been able to test against it, or if you're not confident against it, stuff like that. I do think that could be, again, an important one-off crash course that a few people will be taking up on for some big events coming up. So that's always something that's going to be fun for me to be involved in, but also think it'll be very useful for players because, you know, some people just have peaks and troughs in their tournament. They'll only go to 2 or 3 big tournaments a year. They really want to do well at that tournament, which is obviously understandable. So the crash course could be perfect for you there, where I'm going to give you a broad spectrum, pretty much no time for me to help improve you as a player, but helping you improve the amount of points you can get in a tournament is, you know, good enough sometimes. If people just want some quick dirty points to get your last push to Worlds, for example, that could be pretty important stuff. So if any of this has taken your fancy, do please get in touch with me. The Facebook page is going to be the best way to find me. Go over to OmniPoke Coaching Program on Facebook, and you can send me a message directly from there, and I'll get in touch with you hopefully that day, if not the next day. And we can try and sort out a 30-minute free discussion where I'm going to ask you a little bit about yourself, what your aims are, what you've so far achieved in the game, what you're hoping to achieve in the game, what your next few tournaments are in the build-up, stuff like that, so we can then start setting up a schedule for the future. I think this is going to be an excellent program. I'm really excited to be coaching, and I'm excited to get in touch with you guys and start to discuss Pokemon with all of you, because that's always what I love to do most, and having the excuse to do it is always going to be great for me. So that's all fantastic. There's also another thing I need to discuss, and that's that I'm going to be setting up a separate Discord channel for my coaching clients. That'll be a separate space where, again, it's an extra way that you can get in touch to me directly, but also it's a way that you and other clients can discuss other things that we've been discussing within the program, and also you can have like-minded players to playtest against as well. So it gives you a new network of friends to start learning from and discussing with, which should be absolutely beneficial and helpful to you guys all as well. So thank you so much for watching, guys. If you are interested, please do get in touch with me. I'll happily have that 30-minute discussion with you. If you just want to take it or leave it from there, I don't expect anything from the 30 minutes. It's not a full commitment. Don't worry about that. But if it is something that you want to learn more about and discuss with me in person, you absolutely can do. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I hope you're excited to join this coaching program with me. Thanks.